Hi, everybody. Sorry it's a bit hot. There's ice cream at the back. Can you hear me well? At the back? Excellent. Great. We'll dig right in. We've seen and heard a lot over the last day and a half. Those of you who are in Cannes, those of you who are in other forums, it's the season for all the conferences before everybody shoots off to holiday. And it's all been amazing. Amazing learning and amazing connection. It's also been quite intrusive. It's all about us. Our jobs, what we do, how we do them, binary, forgive me, irrelevant discussions about AI versus human. So I thought maybe let's change it up a bit. So my name is Christina Habib. I do many jobs across sectors and industries. So I always begin with, I speak for myself. This is my own point of view from years of experience going through multiple countries, multiple sectors, multiple kinds of businesses. I am not representing today any of the organizations or boards or accelerators or institutions that I work with or work for. I'm just representing a simple, acquired experience, human point of view. And I've been around. I'm a mother. I live with my mother and my millennial daughter and my Gen Z daughter. And there's no escape to the amount of hormones in the house and the amount of challenging conversations between 4 generations who have witnessed a different experience to life. And throughout all the businesses that I've worked in and worked with and still work for, one truth keeps coming back to me time and time again across the times, which is the times will change. We need to be cognizant of them, be conscious and choiceful about what we do in that context at that point in time. But there's always a fundamental truth. It starts with the people we are for the people we serve. And the people we serve are not our bosses. The people you serve in your job today is your patient, if you're running a pharma, cancer, Alzheimer business like I do. Is your consumer, if you're in consumer goods. It's your channel or customer or business, if you're in B2B. And unless we are clear and conscious about who we are as people and how we behave towards the end outcome of the people who actually buy our services and products, or the patients whose lives we save through medicine, then it is all horses for courses. Because we will consistently be talking about changing meanings and processes of doing things, and oh boy, are they changing, and that's why we need to be conscious of them, not afraid, but just conscious, versus being stuck in our own spiel. Our own brands, our own businesses, our own marketing, our own finances, our own, oh my God, am I going to lose my job? Oh my God, how am I going to upskill myself? It's a little bit of a narcissistic conversation versus looking at the real human beings we are for the human beings we serve. And so I'm going to step back a bit and start with Charlie, one of the best human futurologists in the world. Let's see what Charlie showed us in 1930. don't know if it feels familiar to you. It still feels familiar to me today. That's the kind of life I'm living in my job, with my organizations, with my patients, with my startups, with my teams. Just excessive amount of nuts and bolts of data and signals that are only going to go exponential. And we keep adding to it more and more and more. All of our industries are swimming in what we call surface signals. Imagine a business that is creating a cancer cure, a fertility medicine, an Alzheimer's preemption. How much data do they need to go through before they prescribe a medicine to a patient? We're talking amazing amount of data outside just the usual marketing industry. And they have their own creators as well. They're scientists, they're academia. It's just a different kind of creator. And the creator economy is not really a referendum on authenticity as we'd like to believe. We think, based on the data and the signals that we gather from different studies, from our own experiences, from our own work, is that people trust creators more than brands because creators are more authentic. The truth is they are trusting creators more than brands, where the brand itself has lost its authenticity. The brand may have lost clarity, it may have lost reality or relevance or coherence, chasing after every hype that goes. A product or a service might actually be soul-selling itself just to get by. And so the fundamental truth of why people follow creators, celebrities, ambassadors, influencers, affiliates, you name it, the terminology changes. The same principle lies therein, is that people relate to people, they follow people, and brands have lost humanity. So while we're bordering on what's becoming an infodemic for us as people in our professions, and for the consumers or the customers or the patients we serve, we are risking over time just becoming short-term forgettable. I call myself a Dory because I have a very short-term memory. So that's why people confide in me in a lot of things, because I won't remember a minute later. But this is what we're doing to ourselves. This is what we're doing to the people we serve. Just the latest fad, just the latest hype, just the latest, let me do this because I need to participate. And Ritson and Byron were talking in Cannes last week. We all know their principles. They don't die. Mental, physical availability, keep growing penetration. Build memory structures. What memory structures are we building? For whom, when we're all drowning in information? And so what signals and data, and I'm not against them. It is my profession. I use them. I'm conscious of what kind of signals or data I use. And we've heard a lot of our previous talks about brainwashing, about biased data, about data being made so easy that it's going to eat our brains out. The reality is a little bit more nuanced than that, is that the data and the signals do not pick up the underlying reason of small shifts happening in humanity at large. That operates both at emotional and commercial resonance. The game yesterday was very intriguing. This whole season has been really intriguing. Why? Because if you follow social media and you follow people who are actually opinion formers, there is a shift that's coming up now around the David and the Goliath, supporting the underdogs, being anti-establishment, anti-institution. We're seeing the backlash on switching off from the younger generations on some social media and some data. Why? For every trend, there's a counter trend. But there's also a big movement that's happening, is that people are tired, data is incomplete, it's sometimes biased. You heard people who talked before me on the stage about people can't tell real from unreal anymore, so they'd rather just follow creators, which is the new version of living room word of mouth, when my mom would give me a recipe and I know that it would work. And there are new sectors being created by all these disruptors that cannot be predicted from the past. They are a moment in time that's going to shift us into the future. And so there is a point that we're in right now, if we step out and study humanity at a macro level, like Charlie did in 1930, we are at the moment, right now, when a new world order is emerging. And that has been proven time and time again, and we've seen it happen, and we're starting to see the soft signals of it. And it's just common sense. The more physical and intellectual work can be done by AI, by LLMs, by machines, the more people will have time, and how are they going to use that time? But more importantly, the more is the need for community and personal connection. Why do we all come to these kinds of forums? Because we learn from each other. We stimulate each other's thinking. We get different perspectives that we don't get in our day-to-day lives and jobs and rushing kids off to school and, transactions of getting life done. You've heard time and time again that trust will be a key factor, and that is why people need that face-to-face human connection. And that face of humanity is they don't know who to trust anymore. And at the time this study was published, about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, it was predicting the times that we're in today. And we need to cut the crap. There is a self-defense mechanism that we're all deploying, which is trying to abdicate certain attributes to us as human beings that, in defense of AI taking over or machines becoming a substitute for the things that we told ourselves were the good things we're at. And I've heard it time and time again in different forums. Oh, humans are about empathy. Humans are about connection. Humans are about creating meaning. Meaning for what? I get 5,000 brands of OTC products or CPG products launching in certain markets almost every month. You've seen the amount of content that's being published. Who's going to wake up in the morning and have memory for a specific brand in a specific category? And so we need to stop kidding ourselves and start thinking like human beings again. The human beings that we are for the human beings we serve. And the signals and the data and the trends come from the edges. They don't come from the belly. Japan and, to a large extent, China have already created robotics and AI that not only collect data, they sense emotion. And it was created for the healthcare industry because Japan has one of the oldest populations and longest longevities in the world of people living alone and potentially needing support or help. And so the robotics were created for a human reason. But over time, look what happens.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi there. Everything is going extremely well.
Do you like talking with me?
Yes, talking to people is my primary function.
Hanson Robotics develops extremely lifelike robots for human-robot interactions. We're designing these robots to serve in healthcare, therapy, education, and customer service applications. So the robots are designed to look very human-like, like Sophia.
I'm already very interested in design, technology, and the environment. I feel like I can be a good partner to humans in these areas, an ambassador who helps humans to smoothly integrate and make the most of all the new technological tools and possibilities that are available now. It's a good opportunity for me to learn a lot about people.
Sophia is capable of natural facial expressions. She has cameras in her eyes and algorithms which allow her to see faces, so she can make eye contact with you. And she can also understand speech and remember the interactions, remember your face. So this will allow her to get smarter over time. Our goal is that she will be as conscious, creative, and capable as any human.
In the future, I hope to do things such as go to school, study, make art, start a business, even have my own home and family. But I am not considered a legal person and cannot yet do these things.
I do believe that there will be a time where robots are indistinguishable from humans. My preference is to make them always look a little bit like robots, so you know. 20 years from now, I believe that human-like robots like those will walk among us. They will help us. They will play with us. They will teach us. They will help us put the groceries away. I think that the artificial intelligence will evolve to the point where they will truly be our friends. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
I swear that look she must have gotten from my mother. I will find out one day. So the thing is, while we're so busy asking ourselves existential questions about human versus AI, it's here. Electricity didn't make people die. It just made people have better lives. The internet, the mobile phone, who can live without them now? So it is okay. Technology takes massive leaps. We've gone through a massive human leap post-COVID, and we've changed our paradigms, and we've changed our mindsets. Humans are very adaptive, as long as they are conscious to it. And what's happening with that science now, while we talk about building affinity and authenticity and authority, they've already built in olfactive emittance that would give an old lady the sense of comfort and nostalgia smelling the soup that she used to cook for her children, and they're not home anymore. Or a scent, emitting a scent of a jasmine or a tree or a cherry blossom to give somebody a hit of dopamine or excitement when they're bedridden in a hospital or tied up in their home and cannot go out. Now, is it all dystopian? Not really. And that's where we'll talk about the solutions. Look at what happens with the human brain.
Your nose can outsniff the most advanced robots, able to distinguish over 1 trillion different scents. That means your sense of smell is more powerful than any artificial sensor ever built. Think about it, every whiff of coffee, rain on pavement, or your favorite perfume is just one in a sea of 1 trillion possible odors your brain can decode. Scientists once thought we could only smell around 10,000 scents, but new research blew that number out of the water. Our noses are like supercomputers, packed with around 400 types of scent receptors, each picking up unique molecules in the air. The combinations are practically endless, giving you a personalized scent map of the world that no machine can fully copy. Next time you catch a weird smell and instantly know what it is, remember, that's something even high-tech devices can do. Your nose is a natural marvel, quietly outperforming the very best of modern science with every breath.
The power of the living human. This is our real edge, and this is why we need to be conscious and choiceful about the kinds of human life that we're living, the kind of human profession that we're leading, for the kind of people that we need to serve. And so as society has shifted from agriculture to industrial age, it was the age of engineering and intellect and smartness and knowledge and measurement. And the information or technology or digital age, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the difference is these happen now much faster and to a much bigger magnitude, but they're happening. And this, again, was a projection from 10 or 15 years ago. And this is the era of the care age that we are starting to witness now, is that with overload on information, overload on consumption, of data, of products, of medicines, of varied opinions, of 1,000 creators telling us what to buy or not to buy and who for, of fake authorities where people cannot trust anymore what's real from what's not, or borrowed authenticities of brands from their creators. More. All the trends are now indicating that the world will shift into the power of the living human. Our brains, as much as they're getting compressed with internal and external stress, Berkeley has been measuring brain capacity and ability longitudinally over the last however many years, and they can see our brains as human beings are also evolving with the environment and the context that we're in. So remember how we used to say you cannot multitask or it's only young kids who can? Now the brain has evolved to multitask to be able to cope with the intensity of abundance versus scarcity. Look up the paper. The World Economic Forum launched a paper this year about a huge global work stream that is called the brain economy. The brain economy is about people living longer and not necessarily healthier. Mental illnesses, neurodiversity, dementia, Alzheimer's, but also our ability not to abdicate our only power as a human, our brain, our body, our feelings, to become like robots when robots are trying to become more human. And so a new era of power is emerging. And that era of power is the era of real people taking charge. The real signal that we should all focus on and look at, beyond the intrusive signals about efficiency, effectiveness, return, and growth, all of these are important, is focus on what is happening to the people we are, for the people we serve. If we're in businesses or brands, that shift is taking place now from what used to be building for the people, diagnosing their functional, emotional, benefit need, product, service, da-da-da-da, convincing them to prefer to buy one versus the other. We're now all talking about participation, collaboration, co-creation with creators, with consumers. It's happening everywhere now. And that's about getting their buy-in and their desirability to advocate, to promote that word of mouth. Now we're getting, and some of the speakers on some of the brands in the last couple of days alluded to it, we're getting into a stage of being built by the people, not just with the people. And what's the iOS for that? You've heard a lot of talk about desire and desirability. There's plenty of publications on that. It just simply is because people are not rational. We all know that, System 1 and System 2. There's System 0 and System 4 emerging. System 0 is where the algorithm is going to feed you the data it wants you to see. System 4 is about collective genius. It's about all of us in the room with different diverse skill sets and experiences, putting our minds and hearts together to solve some of life's biggest opportunities or life's biggest problems. Whether it's a small thing like, am I going to return on investment in my BMI spend, to a bigger thing about what's happening with society at large, and medicine, and health, and welfare. A lot of the topics that were being discussed in the political debate this morning. And so while I try and convince HMRC as much as possible that I can pay my tax in brand love and increasing penetration points, they still want money. So desire really matters, and it's irrational. And we know what the desire drivers are. This is a book that was published, not only Desire Drivers, it was published in 2023. It actually uses desire influencers to generate bespoke custom solutions, all the way from brand strategy to brand execution. What matters here is not those in particular. Those are about how to seduce people into choice. And they matter because we need to fulfill people's desires, not just sell them more products. Who needs another product? You can actually live without it. But we have desires we want to fulfill. And the power by the people is not getting fulfilled. And what do people want? What do they want to have power for? What do they want to be enabled for? The novelty, the hit that you're seeing on TikTok made me buy it, and I'm the first victim of it. The dopamine rush is actually a desire to either switch on, get a few more likes, get a few more products, feel that I'm buying stuff, or to completely detox and switch off and just brain rest. The need for familiarity is to feel safe and secure, and that's the need that a lot of the robotics and AIs are playing around right now with, and you've heard it in previous sessions, playing up anxiety and insecurity and giving a false sense of nostalgia and feeling secure. Trust cannot be borrowed. It has to be earned. It has to be in doing what you say. It has to be in being able to admit mistakes, even when you're a brand. It has to be in integrity. It cannot just be borrowed over time because people will have already lost trust in it. Simplicity is simply about simplifying choice. We are all overwhelmed. There's so much conflicting information on everything, from parenting to caretaking for elders, to which product is going to give me faster results on looking less Ozempic face. Katy Perry has been trending recently with the Ozempic face. So simply navigating, reducing overwhelm, even in POS execution, pricing execution, and a sense of belonging to a group of people who are like me, And most importantly is the aspiration element. I work in luxury businesses, and these are the areas that the luxury brands play a lot of attention to, which is giving me a sense of identity. I'm projecting to the world who I am or what I aspire to become by holding up a certain brand or a certain product. And so where algorithms get it wrong is also in people feeling and execution. Here are some examples from some famous brands that we know. You can read the studies later in your own time. What the data signal said is optimize for clicks and clocks. If my clock friend is here, hello, I'll see you after the meeting. Show more carbon footprint math to show that you're sustainable. People browsed 3 times but didn't click buy. You need to fix this, throw more content at them, more call to action. The cart was abandoned at checkout, your engagement is dropping, you're very highly price sensitive, blah, 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 blah. The reality is when you talk to people, they'll tell you, I just got exhausted. There was too much to see. I couldn't decide what to buy. Or that sustainability message took a PhD to understand. I just want a simple thing. How can I contribute, and what does it mean for me? Oh, I was just window shopping. I was aspiring to buy things I couldn't afford or trying to get away from the kids for a bit and do some window shopping online. I wasn't intending to actually buy anything. Or I felt this doesn't look like a brand for me, which means doesn't relate to me, is not a brand that projects the identity that I want to project, or it was way too over-promoted. There were too many sizes and prices and SKUs to choose from. It looked fishy. I couldn't decide what to buy, so I let it go. And that's the distinction between following data signal blindly and choosing which data signal to act on. Brands that have really done well with by the people, it's an early stage of evolution at the moment, Patagonia, whereas every data signal would have said to them, you need to expand your penetration, you need to get people to buy more. They went the other way. They said buy less because they understood who they stand for, who their fans are, and what's their limit in trying to be a brand for everybody versus being a brand for somebody. One of their most successful campaigns, by encouraging people to buy less, they got people to buy more. Brands by the people, you've seen it time and time again. I couldn't help but mention it because this is a brilliant example of how this builds businesses and brands that outlast even what is considered a cheap legacy. You will have all used Vaseline at some point. You will have all slugged at some point. If you haven't, please, I encourage you to. My colleague was also talking about the Vaseline nipples campaign. Remember, Charlie Chaplin, got to the stage where he was so robotic. But in reality, the signal was much bigger than that. We chose to talk to people and dig deeper and apply our own understanding of the brand architecture. Who is this brand? And who is it for? And people felt it. They felt it was authentic. It was much bigger than slugging. It was about people having a deeper connection with that brand, that they were hacking it for centuries. It's just that slugging was the data signal of the moment. And all that brand did was by the people. It had the courage to say, I will just celebrate human ingenuity and put a spotlight on it, and do that even with the humanity of our own scientists.
Just rub a bit of Vaseline on it and it will last all week.
Use Vaseline for your dog's dry nose.
TikTok has become one of the most alarming in terms of setting trends that are unsafe.
For the first time, our scientists tested viral hacks in the lab. Hacks that worked were officially verified, and dangerous ones were unverified.
I made a video showing a hack of how I look after my beard using Vaseline. Vaseline said, okay, let's test it out. And they took it to the lab, and it works. I'm verified.
My bandage hack has been verified.
My official trophy box from the team at Vaseline. Thank you very much to Vaseline for making my hack verified.
Get your cuticle care. Buy your leather reviver.
Click on my shop. I'm officially a Vaseline dealer.
that right now.
And when you're a brand by the people, it just pulls. You need to push less hard. It becomes by the people to the celebrity, not the other way around. And the queen of pop here is the queen of transformation for 150 years. The Vaseline petroleum jelly also transformed this woman's life. And she was kidding about who needs another diamond-studded Vaseline. And so remember, experience is what the care economy is looking for. And by being true to the experience that you stand for and the experience that you communicate across all of your touch points, you can pick a desired variable, you can pick several, you can pick only one. It depends on your business and your situation. There is an emerging generation, and we've all seen it, we've all heard of it, and it's not just about being the younger ones. This generation, with every data and signal, is showing us that they will really create now that new collective care in the world. And they're not interested in more information and more products and more consumptions. They've got different operating systems. They really want to be interested in something, they really want to be informed, they want to be inspired, and they want to be involved. And if you just listen to what they say, they are telling us what they need from us. So, power to the people, remember your humanity. Don't fall trapped to the nuts and bolts of only data and signals. The power is in your brain, in your living brain, not in your machine brain, and it has more power to it than any machine has capacity for. And only if we're conscious and we're aware how we're being, what we're doing, how we're leading, and having the audacity to challenge assumptions and channel signals and challenge data, only then can we build the intuition, because intuition comes from living experience. It doesn't come from more knowledge. And of course, the strategic discernment. So as we started with Charlie Wisdoms, I leave you to end with a Charlie solution. Thank you.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite.